Hello and welcome back. Before we start this week's podcast, we need to discuss our patron. Sam, what is our patron?
Our Patreon, Tom, is patreon.com/From the Boundary Podcast. And on Patreon, it means that you can support us.
If we sound professional, it's because we messed it up the first time. And how much does our Patreon cost, Sam?
Our Patreon is £5 a month. And for that even, oh fuck it, I'm not restarting. For that, you get these episodes that you're listening to now early. So rather than getting them on a Monday like everyone else, you can get them on a Saturday. You also get a discount on merch, which we haven't started yet. But when it starts, you'll get a discount on merch. There's also going to be extra episodes. We're going to probably aim to do one a month, potentially, probably. And we give you priority when it comes to contacting the podcast.
Excellent. Thanks, Sam.
Any other questions about it?
Not for now.
So, to reiterate, patreon.com/From the Boundary Podcast for just £5 a month, which is less than a pint in most places, isn't it? Basically,
down here it is, yeah.
Basically, buy me and Tom a pint a month, and then we'll be very happy with you. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to From the Boundary, recorded in a loft in Kent. Let's see what these two idiots have to say this week. Before they start though, I must ask you to follow, like and repost all their amazing social medias. Search From the Boundary on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok for updates and clips.
Hello and welcome to From the Boundary. I am Tom and I'm once again joined by my co-host Sam.
Before we start this episode, though, we need to talk about Quick Fix Bat Services. Got it right that time. Nailed it. Henry, who's been on the podcast, probably OG sponsor now. He has now offered, it's not now, he did it before Christmas, but all listeners to the From the Boundary show.
Get to the point, Sam, the point.
I think him sponsoring a podcast that two people that got ADHD is probably not the best idea, but never mind. Back on point. Henry gives all of the listeners to From the Boundary 5% off all his services. And all you have to do is message him, ask him for a service on Instagram, say you've come from us, use the code word boundary5 for 5% off. That is Quick Fix _Bat Services. Quick Fix _Bat Services on Instagram. Message Henry, go back, watch the episode that he's on, come back, watch this episode. Everyone's caught up. You know who Henry is. You know who we are.
We know who Henry is.
We know, well, and the listeners, because if they've not listened to everyone knows who Henry is. And then,
I think I know who we
and
are.
then yeah, then you get to know who we are because that was a few episodes, and you'll have some episodes to catch up, and then come back, listen to this episode, and then we're done. I feel like that was.
Don't think we ever got to the point.
No, the point is that Henry, if you message Henry at Quick Fix Bat Services, he'll give you 5% off. All you've got to do is say Boundary 5, and it's 5% off all services. Perfect in time for the new season.
Amen to that. Hello and welcome back to From the Boundary. And
Wait.
Professional as ever. I think it's going.
No, it's recorded. It's recorded.
Yeah. I am Tom,
and you are alive. That's the key thing.
I am feeling better now than I have done in about 2 weeks.
I was going to say, so the reason we haven't recorded for 2 weeks is because you was basically...
I'm joined by my co-host Sam.
I'm not going to give you any sympathy. For 2 weeks, you've basically been on death's door.
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't had any time off work, but I feel like kind of going on a stag do. It's a little bit self-inflicted and trying to get time off work.
Yeah, but you had stag do, and then came back to vicious bug that has basically gripped the whole of the UK.
Yeah.
I don't think I know anyone that hasn't had, I was going to say a sniffly nose, but it's a bit more than that. Like,
yeah, this is quite bad.
It put me on my arse for the best part of 3 days. And then you came back and went, don't feel too well. And I was like, this is going to go well.
Came back from a stag do, and obviously, like you would do, came back hungover.
Just like, us also taking the piss probably didn't help because we all just thought you was hungover.
I was hungover, dehydrated, and tired, and I came back, and my brother already had this cold, and I've just bought a flat with him. So it's like, basically, my immune system is still in fucking Amsterdam. Pretty much.
I left my heart in Amsterdam. That's the song, isn't it? Is that a song?
Don't know.
I left my heart in...
It sounds catchy, but I don't think it is an actual song. You just made that up.
If I have, I'm going to monetize it. No, I'm sure there's a song called I Left My Heart in... I left my heart... Can't remember. She left her heart somewhere. It might have even been a he.
I don't think it's Amsterdam.
Oh, I can't remember.
Is it Tokyo?
Oh, yeah, it might be Tokyo. Yeah, it could. Yeah. Yeah, do you know what? It could well be Tokyo.
I'm pretty sure it's not Amsterdam. Amsterdam doesn't really fit for a song, does it? It's too wordy.
No. Who?
You seem very offended by that.
No, because someone's done a song called Amsterdam. Nothing But Thieves? Yeah, I know they're not exactly up your street. I'm sure Nothing But Thieves did a song called... Bear with me, please, caller. Yeah, Nothing But Thieves did a song called Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
So it does fit.
It's just wordy, isn't it? It doesn't really...
Everything's wordy. It's the whole point of a song. And then again, you get musicals. Not musicals. Instrumentals.
Yeah.
Felt like Trigger then. It's the karaoke edition.
So basically I was working, and effectively what was happening when I was making calls was I was starting the call with, sorry, I don't have much of a voice, I've come back.
I don't have much voice.
Pretty much sounded like that. And then I had to get to the end of the call before my voice just went. We would have tried doing a podcast, I think, the first week, and after about 5 minutes, there would have just been complete silence from my end, because my voice would have been like, that's it, that's you, go.
And you're done, pal. Well, I've been busy. I've got new microphones,
yeah,
so we might actually be able to hear us. Got an HD camera, and what's really good is the first week we use it is the day before I go and get my hair cut. So everyone can see in high definition how shit my hair looks. And I didn't bring a hat up, so I can't even put a hat on. No, I could do.
Still advertising it.
Now I look like the Unabomber.
You kind of look like a pizza delivery, like an American pizza delivery driver. You know, the sort of the bog standard ones you get in like a film.
What film? Are we talking like film or like
film?
Cinema film?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I was worried. You've had 2 weeks on your own. I thought you might have the films you have been watching. It could have been.
I've been in Amsterdam. I need to watch your films.
Yeah, right, touche. This is a very, very good point you make. Talking of music, I know you're not massive.
You're
not
not really.
I didn't even finish the sentence then, and you went no. Do you even know what I was going to say?
You're not. Either way, even if you're just going to finish it, you're not massive. No, I'm not very tall. You're not massive.
I love how you. I'm not very massive, height wise. No, NFL. You're not massive on the American sports, are you?
No, not really. Yeah, no. Baseball I can kind of stick with. It's kind of a little bit like cricket, but American football's just boring.
Did you not even watch Super Bowl?
Nope.
Did you see the Super Bowl?
Nope.
Halftime. Have you seen the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar?
I've never seen a halftime show ever.
You must have seen it on TikTok, him calling out Drake.
Nope.
I think mine.
The TikToks, you're basically what you watch though. So mine's never going to be American football because I've never watched it.
Yeah, my algorithm has gone a bit American football, and especially now we're getting to the Columbine. It's like for fuck's sake, not Columbine.
I couldn't name you.
I don't mean Columbine. I mean the Combine. Columbine was the school shooting, wasn't it? Oh fuck yeah! Now we're getting to the Combine. I'm getting all the NFL things through again. But yeah, so you don't know anything about?
Because I think I can name a player. Like I know some players invest in football clubs and stuff, but I don't think I can name a player.
Do you not Travis Kelce going out with?
Oh, goes out with Taylor Swift. I thought he was baseball, but yeah, I do know. Him.
Right. So what we're going to find out is you actually know quite a lot about American football.
No,
fuck all about baseball.
No, because I know who he is, but
Patrick Mahomes, Tom
Brady. I know that one. Yeah, that's probably about it.
OJ Simpson. He was maybe not famous for the football, but he was He was a football. You don't know who OJ Simpson is?
No.
Not the football. What about the murdering bit? Alleged. Because I don't think
I don't think he's going to sue us.
No, he's dead for one.
Yeah, that makes it difficult to sue, doesn't it?
I don't know. He's got I'll give you a little crash course here. OJ Simpson, NFL. I think he was a running back. It's a position, and came home, killed his wife, and her new boyfriend. Somehow somehow got away with it in legal court,
Bloody hell.
got sued in civil court, which is basically, it's a bit different. It's like, in law, I don't understand the American legal system. I'm not going to pretend to, but
I think it's the same over here. Like, you can sort of legally get off with something, and then you still have to pay.
Is that what Conor McGregor did?
I think so.
Okay, not killing someone when he
Yeah.
assaulted sexually assaulted that woman, but so all his like earnings had to go to her family. I think it's her family, and he released a book called "If I Did It." I'm not making this up. He released a book called "If I Did It," but because he owed that family so much money, they took the rights to it, and it's like, I did it, and the if it's like this big.
Right.
It's just like OJ Simpson, I did it. So, come back, music. You don't know anything about the Kendrick Lamar calling Drake a nonce.
No, not really.
Whole crowd shouting A minor, and then everyone
No.
get. Have you seen that? Haven't you?
No, I haven't
Have you not seen
it,
that?
No.
Me and you need to have a chat off pod. But what I was going to talk to you about is it made me laugh is that so he did it and everyone, and I don't even really like rap music, but even I've sort of gone, I used to like Kendrick Lamar when he did the To Pimp a Butterfly album, and even I've sort of gone back to him, but everyone's going, you can't have a rapper doing the NFL halftime, the Super Bowl halftime show. Should be big and up and coming, and like The Weeknd and Beyonce and things like that.
Up and coming like Beyonce.
Yes, I know. But it made me laugh because I was watching it. I was seeing all these posts, and it's like, I can't believe we've let. This is supposed to be America's sport. It's American. It's just, yeah. And then I was watching this going, this is the English equivalent of this was when the Oasis tickets came out, and all the old people went, I can't believe these tickets have sold out. Like, all these people, they weren't at Nebworth when I saw them, were they? Yeah, right. But we're moving forward.
Yeah.
You want, if people like Oasis and like the Super Bowl want to appeal to different people, you have to get with the times.
Yeah. One of my mates has got Oasis tickets for. Guess the price that he paid for them.
Oh, don't.
It's not crazy. It's actually. I'm not that fussed about I'm not that fussed about going to concerts in general. But
You're not that fussed about music from the sound. What do you listen to in the car?
just whatever's on the radio, basically. But he paid what I potentially would pay for an Oasis ticket. He didn't pay a ludicrous sum.
I'm not an Oasis fan though. I like the songs that everyone likes.
Yeah. Which is basically what they're going to play. They're not going to go like, here's our new stuff.
Yeah, like, everyone going, do Wonderwall. Fuck. I don't know, 90 quid?
Oh, a bit higher.
120?
A bit higher still.
150?
150. 150 is not bad.
It's not considering that Post Malone released his tickets, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I went to have a look for Post Malone tickets, which was brave considering they released them in the middle of the month anyway. And at the time that me and my colleague got in the queue, it's quite weird. We both logged on at the same time. He was number 2,796 in the queue. I came in at 4,300. When he eventually got to the front, the tickets were £467. And I text Rosie and went, I tried. It's not happening.
No. It's quite funny. They were talking on the radio yesterday. You know the "It's Friday, Gotta Get Down on Friday" song? You know that song?
No.
I think you do.
No, we're going to get copyrighted if you play it. I probably do, but
it's
not. It's Friday.
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
Basically, they're bringing out a new album, and everyone was just like, "You can bring it out. They're going to bring it out on a Friday. Going to bring it out on a Friday." So brought it out on a Thursday, just so people aren't doing it.
Thursday.
To which people have just sort of gone over. I can't think what you call it, but gone over the top of the song and just put Friday instead of Thursday anyway. This is a release date, so that was pretty pointless.
No one will just buy it, won't they? They'll just wait until the next day.
Yeah, probably.
It'll be one of those where like no listeners, day after boom.
Crash the system.
Yeah.
The stag do was...
Yeah, tell us about Amsterdam that caused you to nearly die.
Well, so basically, got there on the Friday. The two lads I was sharing a room with. So there's the stag who I know.
That's a good start.
And then there was two others that we all did the same training course together. So I shared a room with those two. I basically got there. I was at the airport. He said, "Ring me when you get to the airport, and I'll sort of because they're already there. They got there before me. Sort out like where I'm going to meet you, blah blah blah." So I was like, "That's fine." So I rang him at the airport when I was waiting for my bags. No answer. Get in the taxi. Get to the hotel. Still no answer. Then I get out of the taxi and I'm just about to go in the hotel. And he picks up the phone and says, "Come and meet me in a pub." I'm like, "I will meet you in a pub. I want to get checked in first." He's like, "Oh, we're in a pub. I've got the keys already." Like, because I was sharing a room with them. And he's like,
so you had to go and chase around for your keys?
No, so I basically had to go up to the bloke, and the bloke was like, "Get them down and get them to give you the keys." I'm like, "They're not in the hotel. They're already at the pub." He's like, "Oh, right." And then reluctantly gave me a spare set of keys. And I was like, "Sorry, they've made this more awkward than it needed to be." He was like, yes, they have. I was like, "Well,
surely in Amsterdam they must be used to that."
Well, I guess so. And apparently they turned up. They basically turned up for the stag do. So my mate's called Adam, and the best man who'd organised everything is his brother, a younger brother. He's called Connor. They basically turned up and went, "We're here for a stag do. We're staying here." And they're like, "What's the booking under?" Bearing in mind they were the first two there. Like, didn't realise we were going to get the Da Vinci Code. We don't know. It's just like, I've got no idea. Like, "What do you mean you don't know?" It's like, "Well, I'm here for my mate's stag do." Right, okay. And this is poor the hotel.
I've just clocked, yeah.
And the poor Dutch bloke on reception was like, "Right, so what's his name?" "Adam." "No, we don't have an Adam." He's like, "Well, that's probably the brother's name." "Right, what's the brother's name?" And this poor bloke, I don't think it, like, obviously
have you got their family tree?
He speaks English, but I don't think he was like, although they generally can speak English, I don't think he was brilliant at it. And then eventually they found out that it was under the brother, the best man's name. But they were like, I was just like, how could you turn up at the hotel and not know like what names? They only had to think of two names. It was either going to be under Adam's name or Connor's name. It's just like, it's not
or the surname.
Or it
could have been under the surname.
Could have been under the surname.
Which they both share anyway.
So yeah, that was that. The Friday, obviously, most of the stag do stuff, because it was all organised. Most of the stag do stuff was on the Saturday.
Oh, this is when you sent me that photo of your drink on the bike.
Yeah.
And you didn't get the joke that I made, did you?
I don't think so. I can't remember it now.
You were probably pissed, to be fair. But you sent me a picture.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it was in a holder.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Only that much was showing.
Oh,
in
right.
the photo. So I text you back going, "It's not a very big glass." And you just went, "I'm on the bike." Okay.
So basically what had happened on the Friday was, I thought, well, we're obviously going to be out, but we're relatively sensible because we're doing most of the activities on the Saturday. Got back to the hotel at about 2. I was like, right, I'm going to go to bed, because the first thing was at like 10 or 11 or something. So,
oh, you're so hardcore.
But I thought I'd be relatively sensible. Anyway, so I got in bed. I hadn't quite taken my clothes off at this point, but got into the bed, and then that's Mike putting a beer next to me. He's like, "Drink that." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, there's a rave, and me and Sean want to go to it." I was like, "Great, good for you." He's like, "I bought 3 tickets." I was like, "What? You bought 3 tickets?" He's like, "Well, yeah, if you think about it, we're going to come back into the room and it's going to wake you up anyway. So you might as well just
come with you.
Might as well just come with us." I was like, "I don't want to come." He's like, "You don't have to come, but I bought 3 tickets because I assumed you would come, so I want the money for the ticket." I'm like, "What? No, hold on." And then basically, in the end, I went, "No, sod it, I'm going." And
Can I just
so
say,
I ended up at a rave at 3 o'clock in the morning on the Friday.
I love Mike's powers of persuasion. I love it. You're just going, "Oh, I thought you'd come, and if you don't come, we're just going to wake you up, so you might as well come."
So,
right.
Yeah, so that was that. I then, basically, some woman from behind me, I was wearing my coat.
Excuse me?
Yeah, hold on. It's not that.
No.
I was wearing my coat.
In a rave?
Yeah, well, I hadn't really sort of got changed. I hadn't really got changed. It took us ages to find the rave, which is quite amazing, really, given that it's probably the room that's going.
Yeah, you think. But then again, everything you'd be like, if you was like, like the old school in a hangar rave, you'd just be like, Follow the lights.
Yeah,
In Amsterdam, the whole city is lit up, isn't it?
Pretty
so you
much,
can just be like,
yeah.
follow the... Not them ones.
So yeah, basically, this woman from behind me took my coat off, which I didn't realise at the time because I was quite pissed. But I actually had my wallet and my phone still in, and she basically took my coat off. And what I didn't realise was some people were doing this, and they were sort of taking people's stuff and put it at the front because as soon as they did it, about a minute later, this massive mosh pit for the rave started, and basically people were just like, i.e. me, just like, I just want to get to my, and you just got to get yourself through a mosh pit
Can
to
I
get
just
your coat back.
You have never sounded older.
Just wanted
In
my coat.
that, we,
I wasn't
I
that
think
fussed
this,
about
I
the
think
coat.
this
It was
is,
the fact that I had my wallet and my phone in it.
I think if I'm right, I think this is episode 40.
Yeah.
Which means we've been doing this on and off. I say on and off, more on than off, for the last 10 months.
Yeah.
You have never sounded older than going, them mosh pit thingies that people, those young people and those throwing themselves at each other.
So
I don't know why you sound like Prince Charles.
I'd like to think I don't sound that bad.
In my head, you sound like, for some reason, you sound like Prince Charles.
So then two of us came back from the rave. The third one did not come back from the rave, which you probably can figure out why he wasn't too interested in coming back with us.
I wonder.
So then we did the Saturday, which was all fairly straightforward. Those bike things are quite good. Like, basically,
is it not just is it not like a bit of like, you're not pedaling, are you?
no,
Because
yeah,
if you're facing someone, which basically means you're just going to go.
Yeah.
So you're not pedaling, really.
We did try this experiment where basically we went to a zebra crossing and we were going across it, and one of them was just like, "Everyone stop pedaling," and obviously it still goes because you're crossing a road, so you can't just stop.
Stop.
But it was a fair way to test it. But yeah,
I'm not sure it was.
how else would you test it when you're pissed about 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the middle of Amsterdam?
Maybe try pedaling backwards.
Yeah,
See if you go backwards.
That wouldn't have worked. We wouldn't have been able to do. I don't think most of us would have been able to function to do that at that point.
I am surprised I didn't get more. Like, some of the texts I got from you over the weekend, were mostly coherent. Apart from the I'm on a bike, it did shock me. And hang on, that was earlier than 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That was
straight after the games thingy we did.
Yeah, I was going to say that was about midday.
Yeah. Sean, who we left at the rave, he missed we did like the Dutch Highland Games.
Oh yeah. How did that go?
That was quite good.
How did you do? Not so good.
Not terribly. We played like a massive game of beer pong, but it was like football beer pong rather than beer pong.
Right.
With your feet rather than your hands.
I got it. It just took me a while, but I got it.
Yeah, so I was relatively decent at that. I think between all of us, we probably scored. I don't know what the right word is. About 6 or 7, and I got 4 of them, so I was relatively pleased with that.
So if cricket doesn't work out,
yeah,
we found your calling is a professional football.
So yeah, then we did that. And then we went through the red light district.
I bet you didn't go as quickly as you did when you went with your family.
No, the bar crawl thingy, which was all right. I don't really know why. You basically just end up sort of with this group of people that you don't really know, sort of going through the red light district and going bar to bar.
Isn't that what all stag do's are?
But you should. I don't know why you do it. I don't really get what the benefit of doing it organised was like.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'd have it organised. I think I'd rather just go.
Just walk from bar.
Your problem.
Yeah, just walk from bar to bar.
Go,
but anyway,
again.
when you got bored of a bar, you just be like, I'm just going to look at where the next bar is. Oh, okay, that's not the next bar, but I'm just going to keep looking around for a bit.
Is this like one of these ones where you had like what are they called? They do it over here, don't they? You get like a what the fuck?
Like a
not tennis, golf card, We'd be like,
Oh, no,
pub
it
one,
wasn't-
you have to
no.
have a shot of
No, it
something.
wasn't really like that. You got a shot, I think, in maybe a few of them. I don't even know if
Maybe
you
that's
got a
what we
shot
should
in
do
all
for
of them.
my stag do. We should make our own go, like bar one, you have to have a shot. Bar two, pint of Guinness. Bar three.
Bar 3, Tom's dead.
And
I don't think I could. Let's be honest, I'm not keeping up with you, am I?
I don't know. Man, maybe. I don't know. We'd have to put Guinness at the end.
Although
I don't really
actually-
like Guinness.
Day drinking was a little bit different. Like you say, my messages were vaguely coherent. I think it is because it's just day drinking. Like when you sort of sometimes you turn up somewhere at like 6 or 7, you're like, I'm behind, and you start necking it. Whereas day drinking, we have got like all day and all night to drink. So it wasn't really that.
We should do that. We should do it like a golf thing and just be like, right, bar one, tequila shot, and just tick everyone that does it, and just watch people as you get to like pub 18, and it's like, right, pub 18, you got to do 2 flaming sambucas.
Well, I definitely didn't do 18 pubs for a start.
Should we do mini golf? Should we do 9 pubs?
No, even 9's quite a lot.
No, you got to get the drink. So, yeah, but if you go to pub,
I think we did 4. I think there's like 4 or 5.
Yeah, but if you go to the first drink, if you go to the first one and do your drink, and that's it.
Oh yeah, I suppose you could do the
could-
one drink. Yeah,
Get 18, I reckon.
yeah. And then
Can you think of 18 drinks though?
no,
No.
not that you're not going to get. Not that you're going to get in Amsterdam.
flaming sambuca.
Yeah.
Or, even better, coffee shop 1. Coffee shop 2, space cookies. Coffee shop 3, magic mushrooms.
In the
And then when everyone just first line and no one's on the second line.
in the water.
Water hazard as we cross over the fucking canal.
And then I had. So this was probably the funniest. This was probably the highlight actually of the stag do. It was the most bizarre 1 minute conversation. Honestly, it was a 1 minute conversation. I don't really think I could do it justice. But basically,
You try.
yeah. We finished on the Saturday, but we still had the Heineken Brewery tour on the Sunday, and obviously had to get back. I got into a lift, and this bloke was in the lift as well. And it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't really want to communicate with some random bloke in the lift, and this bloke went, "Hello, how are you? How's your night?" So
At 3 in the morning.
and so I went, yeah, I've had a good night, thanks. I'm just, we're here for the weekend for my mate's stag do. How was your night? And he went, I've
Here's
just
some pills.
he went, I've just taken some cannabis, so I'm feeling quite good. I basically just shrugged. I think I said something like fair play, but I just shrugged or something. He then went, yes, I needed it. I'm only here because my house burnt down. This is where it took a twist. I was like, oh, right. He was like, yeah. So and he said something like, my evening's gone better than my day. And I was thinking, I'm not fucking surprised. But this is where the conversation really took a turn. And bearing in mind, I'm in the
You
lift.
must have, I reckon you was pressing that lift going, fucking quicker.
No, it didn't seem like really odd. We just seemed probably a bit high. And
Didn't seem odd. He knew you for all of 30 seconds and went, my house burnt down.
yeah, well, okay.
Was he one of the 3 fucking piggies?
But then what made it even odder, the speed that he switched it was he went, because it had a sauna, which I never made it to, by the way. But it had a sauna in the hotel. And he went, yes, my house burned down. I went, blimey, I'm sorry about that. Sounds, and I said something along the lines of like,
So quintessentially British. I'm so sorry about that.
but then he went, yes, but on the bright side, I get to use the spa in the morning. Have a good night. Because the lift had got to where and that was like the final sentence he said to me was, yes, on the bright side, I get to use the spa. And he might have said something about the breakfast as well, like as he walked out, and have a good night. And then I just stood in the lift and I got to my floor and I was just like, I nearly forgot to get out. I was just like, what the fuck's just happened? I've just spoken to some bloke for 40 seconds. He told me he's high. He told me his house burned down this afternoon. And he told me he's not, on the bright side, at least he gets to use the spa tomorrow morning. I'm like, if my house had burned down, given that now I am actually a homeowner, I'm not going to be thinking, oh, I wonder if I get to stay at, what's the one, the golf club one near here? The cave. The cave.
Oh, near here. I thought you were talking about St Andrews.
If the flat burned down, I wouldn't be like, oh, I wonder if they can put me up in the cave for the night. That'd be nice.
When they turn around,
quick
when
9 holes in.
they turn around and go, Right, so we've put you in the Premier Inn. Executive room? Premier Plus? Or are we just going basic?
It's just like, I came out the lift and I sent a message because we had a group chat. I was like, that was the most bizarre 40 seconds of my entire life. And then
And one of them probably turned around and went, come. So far.
And then the two lads that I was sharing a room with, I think they must have gone down to get some beers from. Oh yeah, they had done. They gone down to get some beers from. There was like a self-serve sort of mini supermarket thing, which was a bit stupid because basically you could just take what you wanted and then put it through in the system as what you wanted. So if you didn't put it through, you got done basically. But if you you could put through 5 beers as free apple juices. It was ridiculous. Like the system basically.
So basically,
you had to put something through.
When all the self-service stuff came in over here, and everyone was going, "I've got this £2.30 mango. I'm putting it through as a 50p strawberry." Amsterdam hasn't quite caught up with the rules and regulations, have they?
No, but they came back up, and then one of them went like, "What's that message all about that you've just sent?" I was like, "This bloke's just told me his house burned down," and I think just the whole surrealness of the situation caught up with me, and I just burst out laughing.
Can I just say, I'd love to see the CCTV footage of that lift to see one. If that bloke was real, that would make this story so much better. If you stood there going, yeah, and his house burned down, and there's people in the lift going, what the fuck is he talking to? You know, like in the Cecil Hotel with the.
He was high. I definitely wasn't.
Did you do any drugs over the weekend?
This is going out live. No comment.
Did your mum or dad listen?
I don't know. That's why I have no commenting.
You plead your fifth for fear of incriminating yourself.
I drank alcohol and I went down the red light district, and that's all I'm going to admit to.
When you say went down the red, did you partake?
I didn't partake. No, I don't think. To be fair, I don't think any of us partook. But we
partook. Took part. Partook. Is that right? I don't think partook. I know what you mean.
But it's better than walking down most high streets.
Yes. Better than walking down Sittingbourne, isn't it? Fucking hell.
Yeah, so, but yeah, no, I don't think anyone really did.
It's going to be so awkward if the stag did and you've just going to grass him up.
No, even he didn't.
He's the one that shouldn't.
It was quite tricky at one point. He basically at 2-3 o'clock in the morning on the Saturday, his brother, who's the best man, went, "I'm tired, I'm going back to the hotel." His brother's like, "I want to go, like, it's my stag do. I want to go down the red light district." He's like, "No, I'm tired, I'm going back." It's like, fuck off. You're coming with me down the red light district. That's the whole point of coming. Why would you come to Amsterdam and then not go down the red light district?
For the other bit that you can do in Amsterdam that you can't do anywhere else without getting in trouble.
But yeah, so that was and then we did the Heineken brewery tour,
which I warned you wasn't.
It
weren't great, was it?
It was all right. It was good, but we were hungover, and there's this lady that's.
You're hungover, and that smell as soon as you go in the door. I bet you must be going.
And then this lady that's obviously sort of your tour guide, she comes out and she's like all buzzing, got all this like, "I want good energy." Piss off.
I want good energy. You look like the fucking cast of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, pretty much. And then it got to the end. What was really funny was it got to the end, and we were all kind of going our separate ways at this point. And me and the stag lives in Scotland, so he's getting a flight back to Glasgow, and I was getting a flight back to Gatwick.
I was going to say, if you're getting one to Scotland, that's a bitch of an Uber.
No. So we were all sort of making our way back, but some of us still had quite a bit of time to kill. And everyone, you got these 2 little like sort of coin things, which were your 2 like at the end of the tour, like do you want 2 beers basically? And every single one of us, without fail, went one. There's a beer token, and then they'll go like 1 Heineken, and then we were all just stood in a semicircle, just looking at each other like, "Do you want the other one?" I definitely do not want to use the other one.
Someone, please take it.
So I think all of us used one, and none of us used the second one. So that was a waste.
And they're not even proper. They're like that.
Yeah, they weren't, but we weren't getting through. And to be fair, you're about to get on a flight. Don't really
Makes
want
the flight's quicker. Well, the flight's only about 45 minutes anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, I was 40. That was one thing going out there. I was 45 minutes delayed for a 45-minute flight. And then the pilot goes, Just to inform you, we're about to land, and don't worry, you've made up the time. I'm like,
How?
no, you fucking haven't.
How?
What a load of
How have
shit.
they made up that time? You're 45 minutes late. We should be there by now.
Unless we landed.
Unless you literally went, and just there.
Yeah.
A fucking Concorde. I think even Concorde would have made up that time.
I was just like, I just sort of sat
The good thing is we've made up the time. What, as in you've just completely made it up and just gone, the time is whatever we said we was going to land.
It reminds me of the Only Fools and Horses bit. Do you remember where he thinks he's this? Rodney starts dating this girl, and then Dell thinks it might be his daughter, and then one of them goes, maybe the baby was premature. And Rodney goes,
have to be bloody instant.
Which that's sort of what the flight. That was the only funny thing that the flight reminded me of. Like, sort of landed quickly. We'd have had to fucking take off, land. They no one would have believed him if he'd been like, "We're taking off and we're landing."
Do you know what? He's probably just not put his watch right.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, we said we was going to land at 1:30. Look, we did land at Oh, hang on.
Yeah, there's sort of fudging it, and then there's just being a complete bullshitter, and that was just complete bollocks.
It doesn't, like, even if you, like, I know when they say the flight is at 2:00, it's not, is it? Let's be realistic. Like, you're on the plane, you have to taxi. You don't actually take off for a good 10, 15 minutes. So, but to even then turn around and go, we've made up half an hour. What was he doing? What was his plan for the original flight? And in the sky, just, there we go. And we go then.
Maybe we landed back in Gatwick.
Can you imagine that? Going, they don't look like fucking Amsterdam. Did you go to, is it Schiphol? Is it Schiphol?
Yeah.
The airport, for people that don't know, I've not just sworn that's the name of the airport.
But the two people I was staying with, they went, so I was getting a flight back with a stag, and the stag was like, I'm getting an Uber. The two people I was staying with, they were like, you can get the train. We've sort of figured it out. We think we figured it out. Which,
I mean, bear in mind they bought 3 rave tickets on the basis that they were going to wake you up, so you might as well come. I like their pre-planning, but fuck me, that would be risky.
So I went to the stag. Like, they think they've figured out the train system. He was like, I don't care. We're getting an Uber. To which was a good idea, because I landed. The messages from these two basically going, we fucked up with the trains. Oh, dear. We nearly missed our flight, basically.
What time does our flight leave? About 10 minutes ago. Shit, we're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Well, do you want to know what really exciting happened to me in the last 2 weeks when you've been on death door?
Well, you didn't die.
No, I just powered through.
No, you didn't. I think, to be fair, I've called it off, but I'm pretty sure you probably...
Oh, yeah, I'll be honest, the first week that we went, I think we might have to call this, there was a moment when I texted you going, should we do it on Saturday? Do we record it on Saturday? And when you went, I don't think that's a good idea. Yes! You know, is it Sean Walsh has done that bit going, the best bit about planning something is that moment when someone goes, you know what, I don't think we can go. Yes! But this was so exciting. Like, I nearly rang you to. I got a check.
Oh,
well, paused at the wrong point in that story, then, didn't I? I got a check from the Highways Agency. So I don't know if you've seen what's been going on with the dark charge recently.
Yeah,
there's a load of dormant accounts that they were taking money from, and they've been
reimbursing.
I was going to say patronising, but that's you send a body back, isn't it? So I've been reimbursing everyone, and I got my check from the Highways Agency.
And why a check as well? Like, why did they not just transfer it back into the?
I don't know, but it was only £1.
£1.
The paper that check is printed on, the time it will take for that check to go through is not worth the £1.
No. Oh wow.
I've had a boring 2 weeks. So you've not been well. It's been lonely.
I've basically every weekend it's just my dad sort of turning up and he's like, so what's the next job that he's doing? I was like, well, we need to do that, but we're not going to get around to that for a little while. He's like, well, I can have a go. My sister saw the flat for the first time last weekend. She came on the Friday. We went for a takeaway. Her boyfriend, whose full-time job is basically a handyman, he came round on the Sunday. I think he worked the Saturday.
Knocked down a wall.
No, as in he had worked his job.
No, I mean as in like he turned up at your flat and went, "I'll take that down.
Yeah,
we'll make that open plan."
So it's not quite that. But I turned up at work on Monday morning he'd created a separate family WhatsApp group, which is basically jobs to do in the flat. And he's added me, my brother, my mum, my dad.
And him.
I think my sister might be in it.
That is your family group chat.
Yeah, I don't know why. He's just created a different... Maybe she's not in it, to be fair. And yeah, so he's just like... basically, because he can get stuff discounted from his depot. Yeah. And he was like, just sending us loads of different pictures. He's like, I can get you this for this. And we were like, right, okay.
You was like...
and we were like we were both a bit like, right, okay. He was like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what it like usually is. I was like, oh okay, we'll do it.
We'll do it on that one.
Do it your way then. So yeah, I think he's excited. I do kind of feel like I'm just gonna sort of turn up at points. And it's gonna be like, hello, Nick.
Just walk in and go, there was a door here yesterday.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think excited was an understatement. He's basically looking at stuff. I think it took him about 10 seconds to look at stuff that he's going to do sort of short term, i.e. have like a towel rack in my bathroom, actually get a shower wall up so that I can shower.
Oh yeah, because yours is hand, isn't it?
So I'm not sat down in the bath.
I'm fucking Dido. Not Dido. I know what I mean. Sinead O'Connor, isn't it?
And then so he did that in about 10 seconds, and then I think within about 20 seconds he was looking at stuff he's going to sort of. I was like, we're not going to be doing this until the end of the year or like next year. He's like, I know, but I'm going to do that. And
hang on. I mean this with the greatest respect, but I'm in a house, so I have a garden, so I have a perimeter. You're in a flat. It's not like you can put a conservatory on the side, is it? What's he doing? I'm going to build a wall out here. The people below might have something to say about that. Just two fucking unistruts holding up your floor for a conservatory.
Well, he's talking about... I've said to my brother, like, with dishwashers, I kind of get the point with a dishwasher.
Dishwasher is a godsend.
But yeah...
I will never hear a bad thing said about dishwasher.
When there's two of you there, is it really worth it?
There's one of me, and I still use my dishwasher.
But how easily do you fill it up?
Have you seen how much I eat? Look at the size of me. Think how much I might need a dishwasher.
But I can't imagine you, like, when you cook, I can't imagine you use, like, loads of stuff.
You probably could have just stopped that out. I couldn't imagine you cook. Normally, when I cook, there's either a pot... not a pot. Yeah,
there's not, like, multiple pots.
No, there's normally a pot and a pan, because it'll be pasta and a meat.
Okay.
Or if it's in the oven, it'll be like a chips and something.
But that's just a baking tray.
Yeah, but you'll normally have two of them, wouldn't you?
Would you use two of them?
Yeah, because you'll be like, for example...
How small is your baking tray? Like, you surely could get sausage and chips on, like, one baking tray.
Yeah, but if your sausages take 20 minutes and your chips take half an hour...
Well, then you just leave the chips for 10 minutes.
You don't know how much room... You don't know how hungry you're going to be. Like, I could leave...
I can see why you use quite a lot of...
Yeah, but I could do a baking tray and be like, right, I have left the space there for 2 sausages.
Mm.
When it comes to putting those sausages in, one of two things could happen. One, I'm hungrier than I thought and I want more than 2 sausages, in which case I've now run out of room. Or, more than likely, is I cut the hole too big in the sausages, more than 2 fall out and I can't be asked to put them back in the bag.
Right. Okay.
Which is why I use more... At no point do I ever use, like, a pot, a pan, the air fryer, a fucking kettle, a jug. I think the most is probably if I do a roast.
Yeah.
Because you have pot for veg, baking tray for meat, baking tray for potatoes. Yorkshire puddings normally go on a baking tray. So that's probably a jug for gravy, microwave for the other bit. Probably a roast. But then how often do you have... But then I don't use my dishwasher every night.
Just go... At this point, we've discovered that it's a lot easier just to say to Mum and Dad...
Coming over.
Yeah. Do you want to see us? We want to see the cat. I.e., we can't be bothered to cook, so can you just do us a roast?
How much have you eaten in your... What have you been in your flat now? 6 weeks? 8 weeks? How much have you been in the flat and not had pasta or rice?
Not that often.
I was going to say, because it's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
How many pot noodles have you had?
No, we don't do stuff like that. To be fair to Sam, he's pretty good actually. He's quite.
Thanks.
He's my brother Sam, not you.
Oh, I thought we was doing like an appraisal on the pod.
I don't do an actual appraisal at work. I'm not going to start doing one on the podcast.
Oh. I was going to ask for a pay rise. I was going to ask for some pay.
So he's quite good. He started getting into batch cooking, so he's done chicken and rice.
Sorry, my ears heard that very differently. Swap the A for an I. I thought you said bitch cooking. I was like, he's what? He's done what?
So he's done chicken and rice twice this week. We did some chilies last week. It did something else at the start of last week. I can't remember what that was, but
he works in a.
He comes back. Came back last week, and he came back with these like sort of.
I was just gonna say he works in a shop, doesn't he?
Yeah, he came back. He works in a shop that's quite expensive, so he gets a discount, but it basically just brings it down to
normal price.
Yeah,
but surely he gets freebies.
Oh, so this is what I was going to say about last week. He came back with like these Subway sort of foot long type
bread,
sort of panini type things. Yeah. Basically. He was leaving work, and one of the blokes behind one of the counters went, "Oi, Sam!" He's like, "What? I'm going home." He's like, "Before you go home, I can't shift these sandwiches. How many do you want?" He's like, "I'll take one." He's like, "There's 3 in that bag."
Have them.
They were like, so I think Sam had one when he got back straight away. Then had one maybe for a lunch at the weekend, and I had one as a lunch. But yeah, it's helpful having a brother that works in a farm food shop. It's basically people are just like, this is, and it's all sorts of like sort of Tupperware and things that he comes back with. It's like some say this cap. I don't know. Like, it's a bit of fluff on it or whatever, like the top there. Someone will just be like, "Well, we can't sell it. It's got a bit of fluff on it," and Sam's just like,
"I'll have it.
I'll have it, and I'll just wipe the fluff off it, and then it's pretty much brand new." I'm like, well, yeah, we can't sell it because it's just got that. And it's just
it's a weird thing though, isn't it? Because I think it's like most places, it is that.
I can't even see that anyway.
No. We got a new camera, HD camera, and we haven't quite worked out the positionings, which is why you're slightly off screen.
I'm on it. Oh, I'm kind of in it, on it, with it.
Yeah, maybe we'll work on the positionings for next week.
To be fair, what didn't help was every time you said leave the camera there.
You moved it.
But it just moved naturally when...
Yeah, we need to work on the positioning of cameras.
Sorry.
I've lost my trail of thought now.
I think that's enough. That's 45 minutes of... I know we've not seen each other for 2 weeks, but...
Have you missed me?
Yeah.
You took a little bit... It would have sounded believable, but you was a little bit too slow. I almost missed you.
My brain was just processing.
What? Because someone showed you some sort of emotion? It's okay, Tom. We all love you, really. Feels like a bit of an intervention. Like, Tom, has anyone ever shown you emotion? Did you not know how to process it?
I used to do this with...
I love how you dodge that question like a fucking bullet.
I used to do this with a previous partner, but basically they used to ask me a question. I used to go, "What?" And then they go to repeat the question. I'd answer the question. Be like, you didn't need me to repeat it, did you? So it's like, no, I was just processing. Yeah. So why did you say what? Why did you not just wait like 10 seconds for your brain to process? So it's like, well, there was a bit
because you wanted an answer.
A bit of airtime, but I felt under pressure.
Yeah, I'm the same. Rosie's gonna say something, and I'll be like, "What? Yeah, I'll have that for dinner." Or the worst one is when they go, you ask a question and you go, "I processed it. I've said what? They're about to repeat it, but I've now processed it, so I'm going to answer, and it's not the question you think it is." Yeah. Sausage and mash is fine. I asked what time we was watching on television. I've processed a question.
Just go through the channels, just trying to find a program that's called Bangers and Mash or something.
I've processed the question. It's just not the question you asked. Yeah, I probably should talk about some cricket.
Yeah, it's been 46 minutes of usual bollocks. So let's get on to some cricket. Some cricket has happened.
Yeah, we've just watched England make a hash of the Champions. I say make a hash.
Should we go talk about today first?
Let's talk about today first, and then we'll talk about what happened at the weekend, and then we'll talk about what's going to happen in the week.
Dead rubber. That's what they call it.
Yeah, but it's not for South Africa, is it? South Africa. So England, we have literally we saw the last 2 overs
Yeah.
of England losing to Afghanistan before we came up here, and England are now out of the Champions Trophy.
Yeah, when I turned up, it looked bad, and then
and, then
got
Archer,
worse.
and then Archer got out, and it looked even worse. But the long and short of it is, one, who really cares about the Champions Trophy?
Hold on.
It's a 50 over tournament. That's not the World Cup. You've just described it as the Nations League.
I described it as a Nations League as cricket.
Yeah,
which you denied. You went, no, I don't think that's right, actually. And then we actually come on pod, and all of a sudden you're U-turning.
Yeah, I've had 45 minutes to protest what you said. But no, yeah, it's not the World Cup.
It's not the World Cup, and it's not the Ashes.
Yeah, that's probably kind of the bit English biased, isn't it?
And Australian.
And Australian. But fair play to Afghanistan.
Yeah, to
set 326 and us to fall, was it 8 short, I think, in the end?
Yeah.
Congratulations. You're going to get pumped by Australia.
Jonathan Trott's done a really good job there, though, because they did well at the last World Cup.
They've done well at the last few World Cups. It'd be nice if their women's team would be able to play, but we don't do politics on this podcast. But their women's team was quite good until they weren't allowed to play anymore. I think the next video you might see of me might be me being beheaded. I'm slightly concerned now. I'm scared. Especially in HD, everyone can see what I look like. It's not blurry, I can't get away with. Fuck.
I don't know why you started that.
I don't know, but my brain carried on going.
So, we were trying to work out before the pod, weren't we? Like, whether we failed. Well, the answer to that is yes. Whether we failed with the bat or with the ball, or both. To be fair, you can't really argue with 350 odd and 320 odd. Like, you can't really argue with that with the bat.
But the point I made was we scored 351 at the weekend against Australia. 168 of that was Ben Duckett.
Yeah.
We scored 328 today. No, we didn't.
320, I think. Maybe.
No, we needed 321. Whatever we needed.
More than 300.
Yeah. More than 300. And 120 of them were Joe Root.
Given the club cricket side we play for, we really shouldn't be pulling at this red.
No, good point. But we're not professional cricketers.
No, true.
We're not very good fucking podcasters either.
Or club cricketers.
Or club podcasters. But the fact that Joe Root got nearly half of our runs and Jamie Overton got 32. Like, you put Joe Root and Jamie Overton together, you've got nearly half of our runs. Now, Jamie Overton is a number 7? It might be an 8.
8, I think.
Yeah, Livingston's 7. So number 8 batsman. And put him with our high scorer, you've got half our runs. It shows how much of a struggle. Fucking Phil Salt lasted 4 balls on Saturday when we lost to Australia after setting a big target.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty mad. I said this before. Like, I got to football in the end on Saturday and looked at the score and saw England had got 358, and that turned out to be a Champions Trophy record. I was like, but
it's not going to be enough.
Yes, I still don't think it's enough. And sure enough, it wasn't. And it wasn't particularly close, really, in the end.
I think it was it 2 overs, 3 overs left?
Yeah.
But it's the same. It was that... What I found seeing today and on Saturday, it's just a case. It just seems to be such a case of what if. If Ben Duckett can get 168, what if Phil Salt could have stuck around for a bit longer? If Joe Root, and I'm going to come on to it, if Joe Root can get 120, why is Harry Brook only getting 25?
Yeah.
Like, these are the two, arguably, off the back of last year, maybe not so much Harry Brook. He did have a bit of a clusterfuck towards the end of the year. But go back 2 years ago, you're looking at the 2 best batsmen in the world. everyone's going to have their bias. Everyone's going to say it should be Labuschagne or Steve. The record states it was Harry Brook and Joe Root for runs.
Yeah.
If one's doing it, why is the other one not doing it?
Yeah.
Like
with the ball, I suppose. I suppose Wood was injured today, wasn't he? But if
so
Archer's...
so on Saturday we lost Bryden Cast within his first session. Not session. What's it called?
Spell.
Spell. Thank you.
Did he play on Saturday? I thought.
Yeah.
I thought he missed out.
This is so. What happened was when we did the ODIs against India, where we was fucking pumped.
Mm-hmm.
He got a blister on one of his toes that he had to have stitches put in. Now the stitches only got taken out 2 days last Thursday.
2 days before the start of the tournament.
No, before England's first game. They then reopened while he was bowling.
Mm-hmm.
So we lost Bryden Cast. We've then lost, suspectedly, Mark Wood.
I don't think he's playing on Saturday.
He's not going to play on Saturday. And Jamie Overton was hobbling about when he was bowling.
Mm.
So we've come in with 4 pace bowlers. 3 of them are currently injured.
And missed an all-rounder that would have been another one.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think with Ben Stokes, you can't say we're going to come on to him elongating his career and his test career and all that later because we want to talk about him pulling out the 100. But Ben Stokes was never going to Champions Trophy.
Mm.
Like he was.
Did they miss him though? Like, what do you think? Bearing in mind they only lost to against Australia, defending 3-5-8. Did they miss him with the ball? And today, they've obviously only lost by 8 runs. Does he make a difference?
But
they've probably got enough there without him.
I was going to say, you look at the team, and if Ben Stokes walks into any team, any country's team,
he is quite good at cricket. Yeah,
he's all right. But England have gone so long without him that you look at the team that we put out today, and the team even today with losing Bryden Castle, he's probably, I'd say first choice pace bowler, but you know what I mean. He's in. If you've got your 4 bowlers,
yeah,
he's in that 4.
Yeah,
for ODIs.
We lose bats a bit. Actually, you might have missed his batting.
Might have missed his batting as well. But you look at that team and you go, that's the team that team has got the runs in it without Ben Stokes.
Mm.
That team has got the bowling without Ben Stokes. It just seems to be the fact that on Saturday we opened with Archer and Wood, and it worked. They had a plan. Travis Head was gone within 2 overs, I think.
Yeah, they were struggling, weren't they? They were was it one? They were 50 odd for 2 and 145 for 4.
Yeah, and it was Inglis and who's born in Yorkshire as well. What a pain in the arse that is. But it was Inglis and Carey that got him over the line, basically. You look at that and you go, I don't think Ben Stokes, as much as he adds to it, you can't use the fact that Ben Stokes didn't play as an excuse. The fact that they got Travis Head so quickly, who is arguably the most informed one-day player at the moment.
Probably the best player in the world at the minute, isn't he?
One-day player, yeah. I'd say so. Steve Smith went very quickly. I think he might have been out for less than 5.
Mm.
I'm trying to think who else. Who opened? Head and Webster, the other one. Short. Matthew Short. Matthew Short got 70 odd.
Yeah.
He's like, you got the, and we've been singing for ages that singing probably the wrong thing. Shouting for ages that getting Archer back for the Ashes.
Yeah.
Is such a big thing because of that battle against Steve Smith. And he fucking won the battle. Well, he didn't. I think Mark Wood got him. We won that battle with the pace bowl. Is it?
Steve Smith's petrified of you can see that from the Netflix or Amazon Prime thing.
He don't like him, does he?
Didn't like facing him.
But
to be fair,
would you?
No.
We go back to what we've said after the India series, what we said after the Pakistan series, what we said after the Sri Lanka series. We're not producing a good enough string of spin bowlers.
Mm.
Like pace bowlers, we've got them coming out of our arses. We've got Josh Hull, Pennington.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it. I know what you was looking at like that. I'm not
I
going to...
just thought it was funny. You went, we've got them coming out our asses to do one, and you're like,
Matthew Potts.
Yeah.
We've got this nice string of pace bowlers.
Carlos is pretty young still, I think, isn't
I think he's older than you think. I think he's 28.
he?
I might be wrong. I think he's 28. I think he's old because he had that van, didn't he?
Yeah.
But Gus Atkinson, another pretty decent pace bowler. But at the moment in Test, we're still sort of caught between this. Well, we need Jack Leach because Jack Leach is really good, but Jack Leach is fucking 5 years away from an OAP pass on a bus. But Bashir's not.
He's not really a one-day player, is he?
I'm talking for Test at the moment. Bashir takes wickets, but he gets clumped around a bit. I think he's going at something like 7, 8 and over.
To be fair, is that not just spinners in modern Test
not
cricket?
Really, though. Not you think someone like Nathan Lyon. You don't really they don't go after Nathan Lyon like they've gone after Bashir. The same with Tom Hartley when he was in the team. The same with Rayan Ahmed.
Well, Tom Hartley and Rayan Ahmed is because they're young and probably just think like if we go at him sort of thing.
Well, Rayan Ahmed is fucking still only 20, isn't he?
Yeah.
But then you come back, which is going to trim quite nicely. But you look at a Test team, you're going, who's the next? If Bashir doesn't work, if Tom Hartley's been dropped, hasn't he? Let's be honest, he's gone. Ahmed is sort of the next one. But if Bashir don't work and Ahmed don't work, you haven't got this.
Ahmed's younger brother's
pretty good. He's fucking ripping it up at the lines, isn't he? But you're looking, going, where's the next? Like you look at the Australian team, and you go, if Nathan Lyon gets injured, they can pull on what's his name with the glass, Todd Murphy.
Yeah.
If Todd Murphy's injured and they're desperate, they can go to Adam Zampa.
Well, they always had that, like going back to Shane Warne. They had Shane Warne, and then if they didn't have Shane Warne, they had Stuart McGill, and people were like, I think they sometimes played two spinners more like one dayers, and they're just like, we're going to try and take him on, and then like he'd end up with figures of 340.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm not quite Shane Warne, but
I'm good enough. But this is what I'm saying, like any country you look at to their standard, but I'm not expecting Afghanistan to pull out a fucking worldy pace bowler, let's say, and just keep doing it with what's going on. But why are England like there you go, bring it into the one days? What's Adil Rashid now? 39?
Yeah, it must be very. I don't know if he's that old, but he's pretty old.
I think he might be.
Is he?
And you're talking, yes, probably, arguably,
Yeah.
the best spin bowler in the world, one day spin bowler in the world. Granted, yeah? We've got no one to back you up.
No.
Like, did you ever play, not Championship Manager, cricket version?
Cricket captain, yeah.
I could never do the maths on that, so I always had, dickhead, 5 bowlers.
Rocket. You're captain next year, by the way.
I know, but I'm going to have more options here.
No, you're not. You have less options. You play with us.
Oh, yeah. But
you bowl your 23rd over. No, you can only bowl 10. Oh shit! I'm about 50.
Bowl 10.
I'm about 50. Is it? I'm about 15 off. I'm not the captain. It's fine. I don't need to know. I'm about 15 off, and then I need to find
some overs.
About 15 overs here.
But
I can't wait for the summer. That's gonna be hilarious.
Going back to it, I used to go for like T20.
Yeah.
Used to be your pace bowlers did.
We effectively bowl like you play like either batting all rounders or bowling all rounders. You wouldn't really play many players that didn't like basically T20 sides, just all rounders.
Yeah, no, right. Getting hung up on it slightly, but I'm doing it for maths purposes.
Yeah.
Opening bowlers bowl 2 each.
Yeah.
You bring on a spinner who bowls 4.
Yeah.
You bring on
potentially 2. Yeah.
No, who bowls 4.
Yeah.
You bring on your part-time pace bowler who bowls 2.
Right.
Then you bring on your other spinner who bowls 4, and then you sort of fill your gaps, don't you? England haven't got someone that you can throw the ball to and go, right, Rashid's just going to bowl his 10 or his 8 and we're going to hold 2 back or whatever we're going to do. Joe Root went for 20 today in an over. Archer went for 21.
Oh, really?
I think so. I think he went for 20. Oh, he might have been 20 as well. Where's there like Livingston? He's probably the best of a bad bunch, but he's not. He is still more about like you. If you're looking at that England team and going right, who's the bowlers we need to pick off? Joe Root when he comes on, Harry Livingston, or Liam Brooke. Take your pick. Liam Livingston. They're the two that you're looking at.
Liam Brooke sounds like a person. Like, actually, genuinely.
That sounds like a footballer, doesn't it?
Sounds like a name.
But,
yeah, it sounds like some sort of journeyman League Two player that's started doing TikToks of like a day in the life of a footballer.
Yeah, that's the one with Liam Brooke. But yeah, you look at it, they're the two you target, which then means he's got to bring his pace bowlers back on. But even you look at Australia, they went after Archer and Wood and Cars. But I think did Archer bowl or was it Wood bowled 3? Archer bowled 4. I'm sure it was Archer bowled 4. Wood bowled 3. Cars only bowled 2 in his first spell.
2?
Because they literally just took him to the fucking cleaners. I think one of them went for 18. And then we're going, right, Rashid's now got to come into the power play.
Yeah.
Which is never really a good sign, is it?
No.
And while that's going on, oh, by the way, we've also got to go to our third, what would have been our third change bowler. And we've got to pull him up because they've seen it like a fucking beach ball out of the pace bowler's hands. And you can't pick Bashir.
No.
With the greatest of respect. If you're going at 8 in a test,
you're
going to get fucking clumped around in a one-day game.
Yeah.
They've called up Rayan. I feel sorry for Rayan Ahmed. They've called up Rayan Ahmed for cover for Bryden Cars. And I've been now be intrigued to know what they do about if Overton and Woods are injured.
Well, yeah, I don't think it matters now, does it? They're not going to risk him on Saturday.
No, they're not going to risk it, but who do you call up? Because the Lions are fucking miles away.
Yeah.
I think it's only because Rayan Ahmed was doing a training camp, wasn't he, in the UAE?
Like the Sam Biddings thing from the Ashes, where it's just like, you're in Australia? Yeah, the other side of a really big
COVID,
country.
So you can get it. You don't have to isolate when you get it. I'm on my way. Who the fuck do you pick? Like maybe Ahmed can be to Rashid, and you can just go bowl 16 overs in the middle. Try not to go for more than 5.
It was funny, really, because Rashid's been pretty reliable for a number of years, really. So you'd think players would sort of learn off him, just like what to do.
But does it become a what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, but obviously one we're missing that would be a fairly decent, well, all formats, but definitely one-day option. Probably more of a batsman. Spell spinners. He's just retired. Moeen Ali.
Yeah, and he's retiring from T20s as well. He's retiring.
He's retired.
Not yet. After the Blast group stage. Yeah.
After the Blast group stage.
Yeah, it's putting so much faith in the Bears, isn't it? Well, I don't think we're going to get out of the group, so I'm going to retire after the group stage. What was I going to say? But yeah, so you could go to no, right. Point I was going to make. Is Rashid a bit like sending what would be an example? I feel someone like Josh Hull or Dylan Pennington going, go and watch what Jimmy Anderson does.
Yeah.
Jimmy Anderson is the only person who can do what Jimmy Anderson can do. Is it that the case with Rashid? Rashid bowls so many variations. His hand placement doesn't move. His hand action rarely moves, which is why it makes it so difficult to see what he's bowling. Yeah. He bowls the loopy, he bowls the flat, he bowls the fast, he bowls the slower stuff. He's got the off spin, obviously the leg spin.
He's the one that did the Virat Kohli where he's like, I've just seen a ghost one.
Yeah. Imagine going to Shah Bashir going, right, I want you to go and learn.
Yeah.
You'd be like, no, I can't do it. I can't physically do it.
I don't know. Yeah. But you think with people like Rashid and Ali, like you don't have to do exactly what they do, like because that's what a team is. Like you don't have players that do the same. The thing with Bashir is, I think Bashir's more of, you don't really get many of them, but as a spinner, like he's more of a strike bowler. Really, he's more sort of someone that's going to break up a partnership or get pumped.
Yeah.
which you don't
But-
really.
but
you need more consistency in one day.
Is that not the situation with probably the whole England team at the moment? Zach Crawley gets runs or gets out cheap.
Yeah.
Ben Duckett, 100 or out cheap. Ollie Pope, out cheap. Joe Root is probably the only one that you look at, and to a point, Ben Stokes, where you look at and go, you are going to give me a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you're batting, bowling, you will always give me an 8 out of 10.
Mm.
Even Jamie Smith. Why are we playing him at 3? He's not a number 3. Don't do that ever again, please. Just you look at that whole.
I didn't know Butler's been keeping, not him.
No, he hasn't.
James been keeping.
Jamie Smith's been keeping.
Oh.
Yeah, because it threw me because when I watched on Saturday, I thought, fucking hell, Phil Salt, because I knew Butler weren't keeping because we said, didn't we, after the World Cup, he needs to drop one of them.
Yeah.
He had to drop the keeping the captaincy or the.
Oh yeah, I know we said it. I'm not sure.
Well, no, they did. He dropped the keeping,
Yeah.
and then Phil Salt went to keeping, and then weirdly Phil Salt is no longer keeping. And I watched on Saturday going, how come Phil Salt's got told? Jamie Smith's quite tall for a keeper.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Smith's been keeping.
Speaking like the depth of the sides, so we still didn't have Wi-Fi this time last Thursday. So I looked on, I went on the red button and looked through all the Champions Trophy. Yeah, looked through all the Champions Trophy previews. And Pat Cummins was insisting that their injuries, because they're without Stark,
Hazelwood, and
he's
Cummins.
obviously there. No, Cummins was there.
No, I don't think
Was
he's
he not?
because
I bet it wasn't
their
him
opening
talking.
bowling was Ellis, Nathan Ellis, and Ben Dwyhouse.
But the teletext thing said about. I thought it was Cummins that was said. But Cummins wouldn't be speaking if he was not playing.
Smith's captain at the moment, so
Maybe it was Smith. Yeah, I think it was Smith. Actually, thinking about it. And there was talk about them having a threadbare squad, and then I can't think of his name. I watched the Surrey game last summer. Gus Atkinson opened from one end and was quick, really, really quick. And then the Aussie from the other end.
Dan Worrell.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Dan Worrell because Dan Worrell's not quick, not that quick. Really, really rapid. They were like the threadbare squad, and this leaves Australia with only, and then you listed off a couple of them, and then I think Sean Abbott as well was one of them, but I don't think it was Sean Abbott.
There's no Scott Boland, is he? Scott Boland.
No, sorry.
Who was there? I thought their overseas was Kemar Roach.
Maybe it was Sean Abbott.
Yeah, must have been.
But I was just I saw him play last year, and if they're threadbare squad, is him opening the bowler? Well, actually, not even opening the bowler. If it was part of the attack.
Ben Dwyhouse and how'd you say it?
No, Dwyhouse had that.
The one that was at Kent. Was it Kent?
I think so.
Sure, he was at Kent.
Dwyhouse.
Ben, where's the house? DSWAIHUIS.
It must have been. I reckon it was that. I reckon it was
Where was it?
Abbott. No, it's not in there.
No, fuck me, you're going too quickly. Yeah, Sean Abbott's their quick bowler.
Yeah,
Their
you must have meant Sean Abbott.
But yeah, I'm not feeling sorry for the Australians too much.
No. Dwyhouse.
Ben, I'm sure he was. Who was at Kent last year? The weird named one.
I don't remember. Right.
I'm sure there was one at Kent last year, and you was like, I don't actually know how you say it. Was he at Kent?
They're with us.
And
Kent, overseas player.
Dwyhouse. Where was he? I'm sure he was at. Oh no, he was at Durham. Who was the one that was at Kent last year, and you was like, don't know how you say his name. Oh, I've just
Bayers Swanepoel.
That's it. Sorry. All right. Oh, man's up. I got that one wrong.
I mean, I didn't say how. I said it. I said I knew how to say it. I think you asked me how to say it.
Yeah. I still don't know how you say it.
Bayers Swanepoel.
So yeah, England are out of the Champions Trophy.
Boo. But fair play to Afghanistan. We probably should talk about them a little bit. Like Jonathan Trott's done wonders
What's the
there.
job there?
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't really understand why. Certainly, if obviously he's not going to get an England job anytime soon.
Does he want it?
Well,
probably wouldn't fucking want it.
Probably not. But even say can you imagine him taking charge of a West Indies with the sort of 1 day potential they've got?
Jeez. Yeah. Wouldn't be bad with it.
I don't think he's had head coach experience before, has he? Or maybe in India. I feel like
I don't think he knows. I don't think he's been head coach anywhere else before. I might be wrong.
I feel like he would just look very out of place as the.
No, Ricky Ponting was head coach at one of them.
One of them.
Can't remember which one he was at.
Yeah, but Ricky Ponting.
Better than I say that, isn't it?
He's like cricket royalty. Is
Jonathan Shaw not?
Not really. He was kind of just a bit of a. He was a decent international player, but he was a bit of a journeyman sort of international player, wasn't he? Didn't really sort of set the world alight.
Yeah, but he still did what? 42, 52? Came up in the test quiz test.
Okay.
The quiz.
Have you got your book with you?
Yes, done it.
Oh, okay.
52.
Yeah, but I think
52
somewhere like India, they're going to be an Englishman's taking charge as our new head coach. They'll be thinking, Flintoff, Peterson.
But
would
you rather
Stokes
Peterson
in a few years? No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that's what's going to excite a fan. Jonathan Trott's probably not going to excite.
I'm a Man United fan. I was only excited when Amorim came in. Trust me, that's fucking dwindled even.
Oh. What the hell was he wearing on the weekend, by the way? We look smarter than he did.
No, I quite like that hoodie. It's the Italian.
Man United manager, you've got to wear something vaguely.
No, he hasn't since he came in. He's got a puffer jacket.
Puffer jacket.
Puffer jacket and a coat, isn't it? We're playing now. Hurry up. Fucking
Liverpool playing, yeah.
You want to get onto that, don't you? Now you've actually got a television that works. Right, so should we talk about the 100? Because this happened a few weeks ago, but you was on death's door. So, do you remember we were saying that they were trying to raise £1 billion by selling off the 100 Club?
Yeah.
The 100 Club? I don't think I mean the 100 Club. The 100. Now, they've sold off. So, the auction is now finished. But I love how they kind of not dwindled. Dwindled the number sounds wrong, but so they wanted essentially to prove that the 100 was worth £1 billion, didn't it? That was the whole premise. Was the 100 is worth £1 billion. So if a company wants to come in and buy the 100 outright,
a franchise.
Like a franchise.
Yeah.
You got to pay £1 billion.
Yeah.
So I've actually got the numbers behind this. And they basically, to me, this sounds like they've kind of done it to their own, bang to their own drum a little bit. So bearing in mind, they could only buy, and initially it was only the 49% that was owned by the 100. The 51% that, Surrey.
Oh, okay.
No, they could buy the ECB.
Oh,
the clubs.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure that's the right one.
Yeah,
it must be. Because one of the clubs is now 100% owned by. So they couldn't buy. It was up to the club to decide whether they wanted to sell their 51%. It was the ECB stake that was sold. So London Spirit was sold at 49%. So they're not quite half. Went to 100. Was 144 million. Bought by an IT consortium. First time they've gone into a sports thing. The overall Invincibles, so essentially Surrey, 60 million for their 49%. And they were bought by the Ambani family, which own the Indian group. Yeah. So the Mumbai Indians, Cape Town, Emirates, and New York Indians. Yeah. Then you got Birmingham Phoenix. For their 49%, they got £40 million, and they were bought by the Knighthead group, which is the one that own Birmingham FC with Tom Brady as part of it.
The Birmingham Knight Riders.
Well, this is the other thing. I think any of the names change. So
the world probably will do over time.
Yeah,
it probably needs to be voted for and stuff, doesn't it?
What did you just say?
Probably needs to be voted for. Oh,
right. I thought you said it needs to be voted for the foreign stuff. I think I need to get my ears tested.
And that also makes no sense. Like,
It does after I've just mentioned.
Leaving it to the fans to vote when, like, effectively teams have no fan base, really.
No, yeah, exactly. So I stick on the clubs that sold their 49%. So Welsh Fire sold the 49% was bought by Sanjay Govil, who owns Washington Freedom, so the MLC club. This is the one he'll like. Trent Rockets sold their 49%. You know who this went to? Was bought by Clear Lake.
Right.
Know who that is?
Yeah, I think.
Todd Bowley, Chelsea, bought £40 million.
That's a really random team. It's like not even a London-based team.
No. So the Southern Brave, which is Hampshire's, their 49% that was owned by the ECB sold for £48 million to the GMR Group. So that is not the Indians. Is it? It's not the Knight Riders. The group that owns the rest of them.
Right.
So the one that owns Hampshire. It's not the. Is it the? It's not the Knight Riders. It's one of the.
We've had this conversation before.
Yeah, it's
I
the
forgot.
franchise one. Yeah. That they own. But them buying that 49% from ECB, they now own all of
Indians?
Hampshire. No, they're the ones that have just bought something else. What's the one I just said? Oval Invincibles. I was trying to think of a GMR Group. It's not Capitals.
Yeah.
So they've now bought the whole of Hampshire. Anything to do with Hampshire is now owned by the So
anything to do with Hampshire at all, like including the club?
The club. So they already owned that, didn't they? They bought.
Oh
that.
yeah, they did. They bought it last.
So this is the last.
Year. No, last year.
Yeah, the last bit of anything that had anything to do with Hampshire was that 49% that the ECB held on to. So then you start going to Manchester Originals. Mm-hmm. This is where it goes a little bit funky. So remember, 49% was ECB. That was essentially the minimum that you could buy. For £81 million, they have bought 70% of the Manchester Originals.
Right.
So they've basically left 30%.
Who's they? You didn't say that one.
I've got to it.
Oh.
The RPSG group, which is the people that own the Supergiants.
Okay.
So Lucknow Supergiants and the Durban? Yeah, Supergiants. So they've left 30% in the hands of Lancashire?
Yeah. Yes.
But then this is where it goes a bit weird. And I tried looking into this, and basically I don't think anyone's got an answer as to what this means.
Right.
So the Northern Superchargers, £78 million were the only club that were sold outright. So Northern Superchargers is Durham? Durham or Leeds? Yorkshire.
I think it's Durham. It might be Yorkshire.
I'm sure it must be because it's Ben Stokes, not.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So let's say it's Durham. They were sold to the Sun Group, which is who owns Sunrisers Hyderabad.
Sun Group is. I thought you meant like the Sun newspaper.
Hell yeah. But they are the
Murdoch pie.
only club that went 100%. It nothing to do with that 100 club has anything to do with Durham anymore.
No.
So
basically, the ECB are selling up.
Well, the ECB have sold up. None of those clubs are now.
Oh, so it's
any of them.
Yeah.
All 49%.
Yeah.
Have gone to. No, that's the only one that you could say maybe not is the Lancashire one. If they went, well, the ECB are holding 10%, but the whole point was that the ECB wanted to raise this £1 billion.
Yeah.
Now, what they've come out and said, if you listen to those numbers, you don't get anywhere near the £1 billion here. What you do break, though, is £50 million. Yeah. And what the ECB have done is gone, well, if half of all the clubs went for £500 million, if we was to sell off all the clubs, that means we'd raise £1 billion. To try and justify selling off this, starting this tournament that no one fucking wanted, like no player wanted it. No. They just wanted a rehash of the T20 Blast.
Yeah.
Fans don't really want, or die-hard fans don't really want it. Neither of us want it. So it means
definitely
we're right.
Traditional fans don't want it.
Yeah. to justify it, they've kind of gone, yeah, well, we would have raised like £1 billion, which would have gone back into grassroots cricket.
And
but they fucking haven't.
No.
They've got 500 million. It's basically like going, yeah, well, if I sold my house, I'd have like 200 grand in the bank.
If I sold the entire Liverpool squad, then we'd have like £1 billion. We'd make more than £1 billion.
Yes.
If we actually had the players on contract that weren't expiring at the end of the season.
Liverpool, Man United would not have to worry about PSR if we just sold everyone, because we'd be the richest. Well, we are basically
what Thingamajig's doing, isn't he?
Don't blame him. I don't blame him.
I don't know. Some of the stuff he's doing is pretty cutthroat. Like,
right
in the canteens, like apparently you can only have sandwiches or soup now because people were getting like, and the quote I saw was something to do with like people getting too big for the boots. Like, what the fuck?
Can I? Right.
Bruno Fernandes says, "Can I have a chili?" And the chief exec's like, "No, fuck off."
Can I ask you a question? Because I've had this conversation with, and I know we don't normally do football on pod because you're a Liverpool fan and I'm a Man United fan, and you're wrong. But if Liverpool came to you, and went, got a job for you, we're going to pay you exactly what you're on now.
Right.
You say we're going to match your money.
I'd rather have more, but go on.
No, for argument's sake,
we're
going to pay you what you're on now.
Yeah.
But for lunch, you can only have a sandwich. Are you taking that job?
It depends on, probably, but it kind of depends on the sandwich. But it's different. It's different because they're changing it because people are already in the jobs and like.
But what that says to me is, you're a Liverpool fan. You'd take that job on the basis that you're getting a ham sandwich every day.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't say ham. Oh, changes it.
Cheese sandwich, whatever you want. But because you love Liverpool.
Chicken coronation sandwich.
I mean, that might be stretching it. Have you seen the fucking PSR rules? We are fucked. But we're really fucked. Like, if that is... If you
we got from the AGM. You rock up at the AGM.
We're fucked. But if you love your club that much... If Man United came to me and went, we will match your money, but you've got to pay for your lunch every day, fuck it, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Because I love Man United that much.
Yeah.
Maybe Kent might take a bit of persuading, but I love Man United that much.
Oh, the food's really nice at Kent, so.
But these people that are going, it's absolutely disrespectful. It's disrespectful what they're doing. You're there for a job. Like that. This
it's slightly different.
Ineos,
changing
this is a business.
It's slightly different changing it, I think, to people that have been there for years.
Yeah, right. But if you love Man United, if you love Liverpool, and if you say, let's say you're in Liverpool, you've got your however much you earn a year, you got free. Let's say you got free lunches, and then they turn around and went, look, we are up shit creek. We are like fucking doomsday clock away from going bankrupt. That's how, and I don't think a lot of people realise how. And I'm not trying to get like this.
I mean, I've survived a few redundancies in the last few months. So.
Yes, so have I. Oh, no, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
Bollocks. But
you got a new job after you.
Yeah, I know. But this isn't like a woe is Man United because they've fucking put themselves in this position.
Yeah.
But I don't think people realise how close to like going into administration Man United is.
Well, that would be hilarious.
Like, it would be fucking brutal because. And everyone's going, it's Ineos. Jim Ratcliffe's coming in to try and save money. Jim Ratcliffe, if you look at all the fuck-ups, and there's been plenty in the last 19 years since the Glazers have owned it, the one fuck-up you'd say that is an actual fuck-up, not like a... Like if you go, you spent X amount on...
Like, not a mistake, like an
actual fuck-up.
Yeah.
Not like you've taken a punt on 40 million on Lenny Yoro, who's then got injured. But the only fuck-up you look at is giving Ten Hag that new contract and then sacking him 3 months later.
Why did they give him... I know one of the FA Cup. But like, why did that justify a new contract anyway?
We did it to Van Gaal, did it? We sacked him the day after he won it. But... Then look at the Glazers' fuck-ups. And they have been catastrophic. Taking out a £604 million loan on the club, going, if we don't pay this back, before they even had the club, going, if we don't pay this back, you can take Old Trafford. We're fucked anyway. We've paid £836 million back on that debt. Guess how much we still owe on that loan?
All of it.
730. We owe more now, having paid off £800 million.
God. Mind
And
you, Liverpool were in this position with their Tweedledee
Hicks and
Gillette.
Gillette.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum, yeah.
Yeah. I now feel your pain because it takes for someone to come in and have to go. Yeah, we're fucked.
Well, John Henry, to be fair, like he bought the club, cleared the debt, and he's like always, and he does it with Boston Red Sox as well. Like he's got this model where like I can't remember, he won't spend more than he makes, basically.
Yeah.
Which obviously to fans is like, oh, we're gonna lose Salah and Trent and potentially Van Dijk. Like, so what? You can replace them on free transfers, which potentially are going to try and find a way to do it. But to be fair, it's been pretty successful.
But you don't want to be. Would you rather be in your position where you're looking going,
100%.
Right, Salah, Trent, and Van Dijk could be going at the end of the year, but you're 13 points clear at the top of the table at the moment, or would you rather be in Man United's position, who are 16th, staring down the barrel of fucking relegation? Because I mean, we're only 9 points above the relegation zone at the moment, and you're looking going, right, we made 150 people redundant in November. We had to make another 200 redundant on Monday.
Yeah.
And that might not be enough.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, taking that hit and going, right, we're going to lose 3 players. But, yeah, we might lose those 3 players. And it might take you 1, 2, 3 transfer windows to find a player that's as good as Trent or as good as Salah or as good as Van Dijk.
Yeah.
And there might be a player that comes in and goes again because he was shit. I'd rather be in that position than staring down the barrel of going to fucking Derby on a Tuesday night.
Barnsley on a Tuesday night. Yeah. Just on the 100 though, there was.
Yeah, sorry, we went off topic then.
Yeah. On the 100, there was Kent did something basically like a sort of an update through what's going on through the winter with the CEO.
Can't remember.
I was going to call him the director of cricket, but that's Simon Cook. That's someone different. But basically, he's kind of talking about the 100. He's quite non-committal because
Kent have got fuck all to do.
But the non-host venues, i.e. the teams without a 100 team, from the 100, they're going to get, I think it was a £25 million grant. But someone pointed out to me, if Kent are sort of struggling financially anyway, and their turnover is 40 million, well, what the hell are they like? How are they going to incorporate that 25 million into it anyway?
Andy's gone.
Well, exactly.
We'll be like that. Oh, look.
So, or do they? Yeah, what do they do with it? Like, you can't. You can sort of. Well, you can because they probably will. You can't really just be like. You can't turn up to like a homeless person and just dump like loads of money in front of them and just be like, because they're probably not going to spend it very wisely. Not saying that Ken are homeless because they've obviously got 2 lovely homes.
2 alright homes.
They have 2 homes.
They have a home.
I don't really know why. I don't know if many teams do it. I don't really know why Ken sort of still play at Beckenham. I suppose it's probably because it's like.
Well, at one point they had 3. Don't forget.
And they had Tunbridge Wells.
Tunbridge Wells as well.
Well, which used to be the Moat in Maidstone.
Really?
Used to play there instead of Tunbridge Wells. Yeah.
Is it the Neville ground?
Yeah.
Tunbridge Wells. Right, because I feel like we've gone on for fucking ages.
Should we talk about? We actually with the football thing, just talk about. So Warwickshire had a complete reshuffle.
Yeah, I've got. I have a list because I wanted to talk to you about this.
And also the I don't know if you're going to bring it up, but like the titles of some of the jobs are really weird. Like they're really different to everyone else.
Hang on. County Championship. Oh, there is. No, I had it. So this is all I'm not going to go through all the ins and outs, but a lot of them, they've not. The ins and outs haven't really moved. I mean, Kent have signed
Benjamin.
Yeah, from Warwickshire. No, that's it at the moment.
Oh, from Warwickshire.
Yeah.
Well, it was quite interesting. Simon Cook said at the end of last season is basically when you get relegated in cricket, it's not like football. Like you've got players on 2 or 3 year contracts, and
they have to stay.
It's not football. You have to honour the contract, so you can't like just sort of rip things up and start again.
But what I have noticed.
So I can't imagine there's going to be too many teams there where it's just like, oh, they've signed 10 players.
No, but what I've noticed with a lot of them is there hasn't been the actual domestic players moving, but the amount of overseas players that have come in. Like,
I suppose
But he seemed like more than normal. Kane Williamson has signed for Middlesex. He's not played county championship cricket for
That's weird.
5 years, 6 years.
Yeah. I suppose there are windows, and actually in certain windows, financially, I don't think England's anywhere near a lot of things now, excluding the 100. It's financially nowhere near it, but there's probably still windows where playing, especially if you're going to be in the 100, playing in England before it, after it might make a bit of sense.
Well, look, Gloucestershire have signed Cameron Bancroft, who's basically the old Colpack style player now, isn't he? He's in there. But Cam Green's gone there. Oh, this is Hampshire. Kyle Abbott is there for... Oh, Kyle Abbott's signed for season. Jack Edwards from Australia signed from April to May.
Also, I'm not sure I'd want to sign a player for the season because they don't tend to honour it now. Anyway, I'd rather sign a player from like March to June.
Well, Kent have got Agar from April to July and Tom Rogers for the Blast. Yeah. That's all they've signed so far. Lancashire have got Marcus Harris for the County Championship and the One Day Cup. Yeah. Anderson Phillips, Chris Green for the Blast and Ashton Turner for the Blast. So they've managed to get, what was that, 4? Leicestershire have got Hanscom and Van Beek.
Yeah, Leicestershire don't have a lot of money, so it's interesting they've got Hanscom.
I think he was there last year, wasn't he? So it might be just carryover. Like I said, Middlesex have got Kane Williamson and Josh Little.
Middlesex definitely don't have a lot of money.
Kane Williamson's only... This is the...
But then Kane Williamson's not going to come cheap, is he? He's not going to be like...
Yeah, but have you look how many they've released?
Yeah.
Like, what's that, 5 released, 6 released? Yeah. Kane Williamson. At least 5 county championship games plus 10 Vitality Blast games. Why not just say he's coming for July? Where was it? This is the... Look at this, Nottinghamshire.
Jesus.
Yeah, Verian's in for the county championship. Fergus O'Neill is in for the first month of the county championship. Mohammed Abbas is in for 6 county championship games. Then you got Daniel Sams, who's in for the Blast. Yeah. And Henriques is in for the Blast.
But that's what I mean. Like, there's no way that those players are all honouring.
No. So they're all coming in for a bit.
But they're not. That's what I mean. Like, they're not all gonna. And someone's like, was it last year? Kent signed someone and then turned up and they were like, "Yeah, I'm injured. I'm not going to be playing for a few weeks." I'm great. We've only got you for about 6.
Yeah. Who was that? And who was the other one who turned up and they went, "Was he supposed to play in all 3?" And Australia.
That was Bartlett last year.
And Australia turned up and went, "It's actually pretty fucking good. So you can have him for." Is it county championship?
For the Blast.
Yeah,
just for the Blast.
But he was signed for originally for all 3.
But that's the thing as well. Like, you can be like, "Oh, we've landed a bit of a coup here," and then you sort of you're like, if it feels too good to be true, it probably looks too good to be true.
Like the point that Asifa Philando, who's signed for someone
like Kane Williamson though. That's slightly different because it's not like a young and up and coming. It's not like New Zealand going to turn around and go, "Blimey, he's good. We didn't realise."
Who's this Kane Williamson fellow? He's pretty fucking good, actually.
I wonder if, sort of geographically, he's gone to Middlesex, or like just going to a London club, or for just because.
Has he got that much faith that they're going to get the Test Championship?
Well, maybe that's what it is, something like that.
Is it? No. Who is in the final? Is it Australia and
South Africa? Isn't it?
Yeah, I think it might be. I was just going to say maybe that is why. For the county Test Championship would make sense. But yeah, not a lot of domestic moves this year. No. Bearing in mind, how many players did Kent sign last year? Is it 3 domestically? Parkinson.
Yeah, but Parkinson signed like way in advance, wasn't he? But yeah,
they basically signed him at the beginning of last year, didn't they?
They signed him at the beginning of the year before, and then took him on loan that season. Yeah. But that's another thing with cricket. Like, I don't think you get that many closed season signings. Well, you've got this stupid window with the One Day Cup / the 100. Players are moving or agreeing to move, and then if they're not in the 100, then they're going on loan to the club that they're going to play for, and then they basically just start playing for the club that they're going to play for anyway.
Was it Bashir that went on loan to Leicestershire last year from Somerset? Because he didn't get picked in the 100.
Yeah, and then so Warwickshire, Dan Ashworth is.
Let's quickly.
It's quite funny, really.
It does fit with transfers and Man United being shit.
It does fit. It was quite funny that sort of everyone was like, oh my God, Dan Ashworth's got a job at Warwickshire. It's really, and they haven't really announced it. And then kind of, it's
No, do you know how I found out about it?
how?
Fabrizio Romano. He didn't quite get the here we go, but he did get the old. Dan Ashworth has signed for Warwickshire. Is he head of not performance? Is he?
No, I think he's just got some advisory role. I don't think he's like that's why they haven't announced it.
Gigs, he's free, isn't it? Because it's the job he had before
Yeah.
going to Newcastle.
So, but yeah, it's very random. But they made me. I was talking to someone at work about other ones, and Stuart Lancaster going to Southampton. Do you remember that?
Stuart Lang.
Rugby coach.
Yeah, I was going to say. No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was when Southampton were like a League One sort of.
Don't remember that.
They were like, we need to sort of figure our finances out and get ourselves going up the leagues again. And there's probably a lot of the skills are transferable. And Lancaster was like, well, I've won a World Cup. It wasn't in this sport, but I've won a World Cup.
I'll give it a go.
And I don't really remember whether that was when they sort of started rising through the leagues or not. Yeah, Warwickshire weird. Like they're revamped.
Warwickshire weird.
Their revamp is really strange. It's so the first team coach. They don't call it a head coach. They call it a first team coach.
Yeah.
He's gone up into some overseeing director's role, which I think maybe is going to be more hands-on than maybe is implied, because the new first team coach, i.e. the head coach, is basically, I think he's come in from somewhere.
Probably.
They've, I don't think it's internal, that's what I mean. But like, so they've sort of gone in, but they're not the head coach, they're just first team coach, which makes me think like the director of cricket or whoever's overseeing it maybe has a more hands-on role.
I'll be honest, my limit of what I knew about it was Dan Ashworth had gone in there.
And then Matt Walker, who was the Kent coach for, I didn't realise he was Kent coach for quite as long as 8 years.
Yeah, he was there for quite a while.
He's gone in as batting coach after he did a brief stint with England, so he knows Dan Mosley, and the other one, I forget.
Moeen Ali.
Not Moeen Ali. That was on tour with England, West Indies. There's two of them. Glenn? Maybe not Glenn.
To the tour of the West Indies.
Two last year.
When West Indies came over here.
Oh, when they came over here, sorry.
Dan Mosley only played in the one days. Is that what we're talking about?
I thought they must have been with the Test squad.
Where is that?
Because Matt Walker was, I think he only helped out with the Test squad.
Oh, he might have been, but he might have. I don't think he played.
So, but yeah. So
actually, I'm adamant he didn't play.
Who was it? Let me see who it was. He said he's excited about working with them too. But that'd be quite a. But then I don't know how it works in cricket. Is that not a bit weird? Like a head coach has now taken a batting coach role, and you've got a new head coach.
But then you see it a lot in going back to the American football. You see it a lot. You'll see like a defensive coordinator take a head coach role, or head coach role taking like an offensive, or a quarterback's coach or something like that. Are you trying to read you?
Jacob and Dan.
Dan Mosley. Jacob Bethel.
Jacob Bethel. So.
Glenn. The fuck did you find Glenn?
Dave, one of them.
Jeez. Oh, I've missed you, but I think that's enough because Man United kick off in half an hour.
Yeah. Is it our 7:30 kickoff?
Yeah, we're 7:30.
Oh, Liverpool.
I think all 7:30.
No, Liverpool 8:15. I just realised Liverpool 8:15. I might have a chance of still watching that.
Yeah, you'll get back.
Yeah, but we don't have Sky Sports on.
You're not fucking watching it here. I'll put Man United on.
I know, but I'm going to have to go to a pub if I am going to watch it.
Oh, what a hardship.
Do I commit? I don't know if I can be committed.
You could go 14 points clear. Who have you got?
Newcastle at home.
Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Because Arsenal got Forest, haven't they?
Yeah. Do the social media.
Yeah, we're on social media. Goodbye.
Never mind.
Football's coming.
Football's on. Hurry up.
Yeah, we are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter/X, From the Boundary Pod.
Yep.
You can email us at fromtheboundarypod@gmail.com.
Com? What's that?
Com or .co.uk.
Yes, .com.
We also have a Patreon, so you can subscribe to listen to us, you will get early access to episodes.
When we do 'em.
Uh,
I feel like, do you remember like before when I had to go, and you'll get merchandise when we do it, and you'll do the specials when we do
And same
them.
with
It's
that.
like it's episodes now. You get early access to the episodes when we do them.
And same with the merchandise. When it gets here, you can get a discount on that.
Yeah, we just need to sort of find out how we're financing it.
Yeah. And I think that's about it, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Excellent. Let's get ready for the football.
Bye.